The musical theatre world is in turmoil. Some might say it's all gone sour. So what's the buzz? Okay, I'll stop now. So Cynthia Erivo, fresh off her success from the film version of Wicked, has been cast as Jesus Christ in the 50th anniversary celebration performance of Weber Rice's epic rock opera Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. Now, as you would expect, the news has been met by both joy and disdain. This is not an easy world to embrace new creative ideas. Throw religion into the mix and you can almost write the tweets yourself. It's like witnessing an episode of The Handmaid's Tale if you dare to go on X these days. Now, disclaimer, I love Jesus Christ Superstar. It is in my top 5 musicals. It's an extraordinary piece of work. So I guess I'm biased in that regard. But anyway, my confusion is why Jesus Christ Superstar is suddenly so beloved by these protesters. It's really confusing, as presumably they would have been the same people protesting when the show appeared 50 years ago. You know, originally the show was a concept album before it was staged and performed for an audience, and it was considered blasphemous by some Christian groups. It was boycotted and protested against. It was banned in both South Africa and in the Hungarian People's Republic, and apparently people are still outraged today. I think, however, these people who are so outraged are perhaps missing the point of the show. It's also important to note that many Christians love the show, myself included. I do get a religious experience. I have done when I've seen the show, when I listen to the soundtrack. I do get a religious experience from it, but I also get a theatrical one, and I go into the show knowing that I'm not going into a sermon, I'm not going into a Bible reading, I'm going into a performance. And the film starring Ted Neely is one of my favourites, and I've seen the show live a handful of times, including the arena tour featuring the brilliant Ben Forster. Now, Ben Forster was phenomenal in the role, an incredible performance. I met him afterwards, and he's also, fun fact, a really, really nice guy. But he was chosen via a reality television show where every week the public would vote off a potential new Jesus. Now, that to me seems pretty classless, but people voted in their millions, and the arena tour was a huge success. One of the factors was that it put the story straight into modern day. The show opened with footage from the recent London riots before the chilling overture began. At the interval, audiences were encouraged to vote whether Jesus was a lord or a fraud. This was the height of reality TV. So it was really kind of homing in on that and the lies that were being told. Now, it may seem, tactless to do that, but the show was just keeping up with the times. In the 1970s film, the cast arrived in a hippie van, and later Judas watches a fighter plane fly over Jerusalem. Now, the problem with this particular outrage with the casting is that it pushes the narrative of Trump and his hatred to the forefront. The negativity aimed at Erivo is exactly what Trump supporters want. The news brought remarks such as disgusting and blasphemous and gross, those kind of comments, just awful and unnecessary. And my point being that Erivo's casting choice could be not only that she's insanely talented, she's a Tony winner, she's up for an Oscar tonight, but because there is such hatred aimed at women in this terrifying world, that her casting as Jesus may offer hope and strength. And that could have been a factor in her casting, just like over the years when Jesus Christ Superstar has kept up with the current events of the time. I would have an objection had it been casting somebody such as Emma Watson, like they did in the live-action Beauty and the Beast. Of all the talented, well-known and unknown theatre performers who could have nailed that performance, and no disrespect to Emma Watson, but they cast somebody who had to go through, auto-tuning, and it was such a shame. Now, back to Jesus Christ Superstar, I don't consider it blasphemous. In fact, I see it as a powerful reminder of the strength of faith, but I also see it as a piece of interpretive art. It isn't a Bible reading, it's a performance. Yet, if Erivo's casting is going to start conversations of controversial casting choices, let's discuss why people are not more upset that so many white men, have played Jesus. It is troubling that we still see Jesus as a straight white man, when historically at least he would have been Middle Eastern. But if we're watching it from a religious point of view, Jesus goes beyond that of a man. He is the Son of God, the Holy Spirit. So why the outrage that a woman should portray this holy symbol? In terms of musical theatre casting, it should be all about the voice and performance. In musical theatre, I still believe that whoever is best for the part should get it. Cynthia Erivo is no stranger to the show. In fact, to add to the controversy, she was part of an all-female cast album of the show. So yes, this is not an alien concept. She played Mary Magdalene, the only key female role in the show, ironically. In some ways, the fact that 50 years on, Jesus Christ Superstar is still relevant and creating conversation shows the success and lasting appeal of the show. Angela Weber and Tim Rice have, by all accounts, done their jobs, and starting discussions based around creativity is, in my mind, a huge step forwards. So what do you think of the casting choice? What do you think of the apparent outrage? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope you have a lovely day. Please keep the comments kind, and take care. Bye.